Hi, my name is Mia and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video I will give you 10 tips plus 2 little bonus tips about car camping and road tripping through Europe. If you didn't see my other videos, I will link them down below. We have just come back from a 1-month road trip through 15 countries here in Europe and we've learned a lot and I want to share that with you. So yeah, without further ado, let's head right into it. Number 1, research tolls. This one's really important. Tolls are basically like a fee you pay in order to use well-maintained, fast streets within different countries in Europe. And every country has different requirements. Every country costs a different amount. Every country has you pay a different way. So it's really important that you research beforehand. So you don't get a fine if you drive without toll. And also related to that is vignettes. In some countries you need to buy little stickers to put on your car. And again, that's different too. Most of them you can buy at gas stations, others you get right at the border. Some you need to purchase for a whole year, others you can get for like a week or two. So just make sure you get the right one for you. And yeah, don't forget, because you don't want to end up paying the fine. I also made a little note to avoid toll roads in France, which please take that with a grain of salt because that is just our experience. Toll roads in France are especially expensive, and we were on one driving from Barcelona to Lyon. Since that was a very long way and we were kind of tired, we wanted to get to Lyon fast and decided to take the toll road because it was supposed to be 2 hours shorter. In the end, we were stuck in traffic for 2.5 hours, so maybe we should have avoided the toll roads altogether. Also, on our way back to Spain, we of course had to go through France again, and we avoided toll roads and had the most amazing time. We were able to stop by beautiful forests and by beaches, and yeah, those are just not places that the toll roads take you along. So yeah, maybe consider not going on the toll roads in France. Tip number 2 would be to carry cash. Now, to Americans and yeah, I'm sure a lot of other countries, that might be a foreign concept to you, but Europe is very cash heavy still. There are some like park meters that don't even take card, so you need coins for that. Some campsites don't take card, so again you need to pay cash. Bakeries, etc. Just make sure you always have some cash on you. It'll make life a whole lot easier within Europe. Number 3, if you're on a budget, make sure to check gas prices for each country. Just a quick Google search will tell you that some countries are significantly more expensive than others, and if you want to save a few euros, then yeah, just try to plan accordingly. Maybe get gas one more time, top off your tank before going into an expensive country. Number 4 would be learn basic words and phrases in the different languages of the countries that you're visiting. No one expects you to be fluent in English. Most people in Europe do know English, so you won't have trouble getting around, but I feel like it's more of a courtesy thing. Like, it's just nice to make an effort for the people and they will appreciate that. You don't need to sit there months in advance studying each language. We sure didn't do that. But just on our way to a different country, we were Googling some different phrases like thank you, hello, some numbers, etc. It'll just make things a little easier and you'll be a more friendly person that way. Number 5, also really important, is to check with your phone provider if you will have service in the different countries. We luckily did, but we had significantly less data in other countries. So you have to watch out with your data usage. And also, since Switzerland, a country that we went through, is not part of the European Union, we did not have any service. So make sure to plan accordingly for that. Maybe download the maps in advance or just have the route to like a next country already set up on your phone, so you don't get lost. Yeah. Number 6, a lesson that we should have learned on our last road trip. So yeah, we are not new to car camping. We have done another 1-month road trip through America before, along the West Coast. And yeah, we should have learned our lesson then, but I just kind of forgot for this trip again. Would be to bring window cleaner. Because of the condensation in the car from you breathing, it gets very dirty from the inside, and especially if you drive when it's still dark outside, it gets really hard to see. So yeah, just bring some window cleaner. It'll help a lot. Next thing, number 7, would be to find ways to block out the light in your car. That was what we found was the biggest disturbance to sleep. If we were parked in a very bright spot, which a lot of streets have very bright street lights, and also some campsites just keep lights on all night. So yeah, find ways to block out the light for better sleep. And also for better sleep, make sure you invest in a good sleeping pad, because you don't want to be sitting in your car driving with your back hurting. So I guess that's another bonus tip for you. Number 8, never pass on an opportunity to shower. With car camping, it can get pretty tricky unless you research and book everything in advance and know exactly where your shower opportunities are. Sometimes you just don't know. So yeah, whether you're by the beach and there's showers on the beach, take your shower. You never know when your next one's coming around. Or even some campsites, the showers can be so nasty you might not want to shower there, and then you regret not showering the day before. So yeah. Number 9, don't overthink parking. Now, we had trouble with that on our first few days of this road trip, because we were so comfortable driving in America, always knowing that the nearest Walmart would be our place to sleep for the night, because at Walmart you can stay for free. Also, they have bathrooms, and a lot of them are open 24/7, so you have food at your disposal at all times. Europe's not quite as easy, but also not that hard, so try not to overthink it. There's a good app called Park for Night. I'm not sponsored, I just really like that app. It helps a lot to find either free parking or cheap parking or campsites, etc. And campsites are always a good option. If you feel uncomfortable in the city or a place, just look for a campsite. Makes you feel very safe, has all the amenities, and yeah, very comfortable staying in campsites. Number 10, this one's super important, probably the most important out of all of them, is to make sure that your car is good to go. Meaning, a couple months in advance, have your car checked, have any repairs that need to be done, have those done, check your tires if the profile is still good enough, check your oil, etc., because you don't want to be stuck somewhere breaking down in your car and or running out of oil or something like that. So just make sure that is good to go. Now to the actual bonus tips. Number 11, this one's also very crucial, and we had to learn that the hard way. On our first ever car camping trip, we went to Yellowstone, and it was so cold, so we left the windows rolled up, which was a very bad idea because we woke up with the worst headache in the morning, pretty much running out of oxygen in the car, suffocating ourselves. So make sure the windows are always cracked at least a little bit, even if it's freezing cold outside. And number 12 would be kind of a contradiction. Be spontaneous, but have a plan. What I mean by that is, don't just start driving somewhere and hope for the best, but make a plan of some places you want to see before you head on your road trip. The way we did that was we sat down and we talked about some bucket list places that we definitely wanted to see within Europe. We marked them with like X's on the map, and then we kind of looked how we can connect those places, and they came out to be a pretty neat circle. And from there on, we just looked for some other places in between, And yeah, just make sure you have a basic plan. And also you might want to look up attractions and things to do in each city before getting there, because you don't just want to walk around cluelessly. It's always nice to have a place to start at least. Now, of course, that's all planned and the opposite of spontaneous, but give yourself time, extra hours, extra days to be spontaneous. Whether that is to be prepared in case of an emergency, if your car breaks down or you get into an accident and you need some extra days, plan on those. But also plan on days to spend maybe an extra day in a place. Or maybe you were driving and you saw this beautiful town on the side of the road and you really want to stop. Give yourself time for that. Maybe you walk down the streets of Paris and you look into some side streets and you see all these beautiful things that you didn't find on Google before. Give yourself time and allow yourself to see these places. Don't stick hour for hour, minute for minute to your plan that you made beforehand. So yeah, that's all for the tips. And now on to some questions that I was asked. The first one was, do you have a budget for your trip? And we are in a very fortunate position that we work very hard to save lots of money, which gave us the freedom to not really have a budget. Of course, we did make our trip as budget friendly as possible by not staying in hotels, staying for free in some places, and even cooking ourselves at least once or twice a day, which made our trip a whole lot cheaper. But we knew we had enough money to not worry about it. So we had enough money to get gas as often as we needed. We had enough money to spontaneously go out for breakfast sometimes and even stay longer in the city for dinner. We had enough money to stay at a campsite once or twice more than maybe necessary. So yeah, we did not have a budget, but we also didn't go out and waste a whole lot of money. We made sure we stayed pretty low on the spending. Number 2, what was your favorite place? And this one's impossible to answer. Every place we've seen was so unique and so beautiful in their own way. If I had to choose, of course it would be Berlin. That's my home. I love it there. It's a beautiful city. Super exciting, but if I had to name a place outside of home, I would have to go with probably Bern in Switzerland. Bern was just so idyllic, so beautiful. Yeah, gorgeous city. Very close to that comes Prague and Amsterdam and even Bordeaux, France. Just so many places were so beautiful. It's hard to pinpoint a place. And on to the last question for today's video. How many kilometers did you drive? Unfortunately, we also forgot to reset our meter, but thank God for technology, because I was able to just go on Google and check the distances between every place. So the estimate of what we were driving in total was 8,560 kilometers, or for you Americans out there, that would be 5,320 miles. And that wraps up today's video. If you have any other questions or even tips, leave them down in the comments below. Make sure you like and subscribe this video if you found it helpful, and so you don't miss any of the future videos. Thanks for watching until the end, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!